Wolfe has the ability to do something this year that has never been done in the history of VGC. So for those who do not know, the Triple Crown is very simple. Someone needs to win a regional, an international, and worlds. Now, the Triple Crown was first achieved by Arash Ahmadi in 2016. Just right before Wolfe won Worlds, Arash was able to win his first regional. He actually did it backwards. He won Worlds in 2013, was able to win an international, and then won a regional. Now, Wolfe has already achieved the Triple Crown. What I'm talking about is the Triple Crown in one singular year. Wolfe has won the Toronto Regional. He's won EUIC. All he's missing for is Worlds. All eyes are on Wolfe for Worlds this year. Now, obviously, we glaze Wolfe a lot on this channel. I think Wolfe's an incredible player, but this year, there's just simply no one like him. He's playing at a level that feels like it's almost above everyone else. Obviously, there's players who can contest him, and there's players who can win Worlds besides Wolfe. I feel like every year you want to watch Wolfe, and you want to cheer for him, and you want to see how far he can go. But this year, I really think he's on such an incredible run. Now let's go over his regionals this year. First up, we had the Baltimore Regionals to start off the season. Wolfe actually managed to finish 9th here, even though he ran quite a ridiculous team, and it kind of felt like he was just having fun with it. He ran a team featuring Toadscruel and Weezing, and he did really solid here. 9th is a great finish. Obviously, if the bracket goes a little better, he could have went deeper, but either way, 9th is a great way to start off the season. Now, of course, the second regional of the season for Wolfe is Louisville. Wolfe decided to run a very strange Pokemon at this tournament. He decided to run Yanmega. Now, Yanmega in VGC is just not there. It doesn't exist. Wolfe was one of the only players to ever use this Pokemon, especially in recent years, but he found a really incredible niche for it. Its synergy with Ursaluna was just incredible, and with Speed Boost, it combated a lot of the common Pokemon in the metagame, such as Sneasler, but unfortunately, his run came to an end in top 8, losing to the eventual champion. But once again, it's a really strong finish, but not exactly what Wolfe is looking for. Last season for Wolfe was all about running standard and running the consistent, strong, good Pokemon so that he could be as consistent as possible. But so far with these two regionals of the season, he was running stuff that was a little bit more offbeat, a little bit more wacky, and a little bit more what we know Wolfe for. Now, Toronto is where I think things changed. Obviously, the last two regionals are nothing to scoff at. Top 8 and top 16 are incredible finishes. People would kill for those. But now, this is where Wolfe gets into his zone. Toronto is one of the most famous regionals of the year, if not of all time. Wolfe managed to win the entire thing while running his signature Perish Trap strategy. Now, going into this one, no one expected Politoed, no one expected Gothitelle to go as deep as they did, but Wolfe was able to pilot them to an insane finish, beating Marco Fierro in the finals. Now, at this point in the season, step 1 of the Triple Crown has been achieved. The regional has been won. Wolfe actually ended up winning the International Challenge prior to EUIC on a secret ult, which meant that he didn't even get the championship points that he would have been awarded for winning, but he did it for pure love of the game and pure practice. Now, Wolfe was cooking up something extremely, incredibly saucy here. Wolfe reinvented Koraidon completely and came up with a new set that no one had ever dared try before, which of course was Life Orb Koraidon. This set completely revolutionized the Pokemon. We actually ended up seeing a lot of success for Koraidon players post UIC. Not only did Wolfe use Koraidon with this crazy set, but he also used Perish Trap once again. Now, in a restricted format, it is incredibly hard to trap in Pokemon such as Calyrex, Rillaboom, Miraidon. But Wolfe found a way, he found the lines, and he piloted this team to a international championship win. Not only did Wolfe win a regional with Perish Trap, he won an international with Perish Trap. And not only was it just an international, it was the biggest international of all time. He clearly has been on a different level up to this point in the season. He really just has had no misses, and it's just looking like 2025 is the year for Wolves. Step 2 of the Triple Crown is complete. Win an international. So now we are in the format that Worlds will take place in, and Wolfe decided to play at the Milwaukee Regionals with a Lunala Koraidon team, something very similar to what I ran as well. He did pretty well in the tournament overall, managing to top cut the tournament, but lost in top 32 to a fellow world champion in James Evans. Now, looking at this tournament, I don't think he's too angry about it. I wouldn't be too angry. I feel like in competitive Pokemon, getting top cut is a great achievement of himself, but Wolfe is a player who wants to win, and he wants to win every single time. But I feel like this tournament, he kind of stuck much more to his familiar and didn't really branch out too crazy, right? It's a very similar to his EUIC team, minus the parish, of course, but he still managed to find some success, and I feel like he just wanted to reorient himself in a new format and just play in a regional. And then finally, the North American Internationals, unfortunately, is where he fell pretty hard. This is the only tournament of the year that he was not able to get day 2 in. Wolfe was actually on a streak of 11 day 2s in a row, and unfortunately the North American Internats was where he failed to make day 2. So it was a pretty big hit for Wolfe. Obviously I think he's going to bounce back. I think he's fine, but it's slightly out of character for him. He's a very, very consistent player, one of the most consistent in the entire world. So seeing him miss day 2 was pretty shocking and pretty jarring. Now he decided to run it back with basically the same team as his Milwaukee team, which I found pretty crazy. The only difference is that he decided to run Brute Bonnet over Among Us. Now looking towards Worlds, what will Wolfe do to bounce back? Now, if anything, I feel like a loss can be one of the most motivational and inspirational things to push a player forward, and Wolfe is no slouch. This is the tournament he cares about. Obviously, he cares about winning regionals, he cares about winning internats, but Worlds is his dream, it's his focus, and I genuinely think he's going to work his ass off to try and succeed at the highest level here at Worlds. I'm very curious to see what he's going to bring. I feel like in terms of restricted pairings that Wolfe could bring, he could go back to his tried and true Lunala Koraidon. But I don't know, after the internets finish, I gotta think that he's at least trying other stuff. He's trying to figure it out. I was pretty shocked to see him bring that to North American internets. I'm a huge Koraidon Lunala player myself, but I just wasn't having as much success with it either when I was practicing with it, so I decided to bail and ran Ice Rider Miraidon at Nats. So I feel like I could see Wolfe doing something similar, not with Ice Rider Miraidon, but I'm sure he could find a different restricted pairing. I could definitely see potentially Koraidon CSR, or just CSR in general. I think Wolfe's an incredible player, and right now the meta is very, very geared towards Calyrex Shadow Rider, and for anyone who's able to break through and really push Shadow Rider to its limits, I could see it being Wolfe, and I could see him finding something that other players aren't using and maybe taking it to an incredible finish. I think though, he's obviously a very, very good player, well accomplished player, and I expect him to bring something a little bit saucier to Worlds. I think this format is incredibly hard, and it's incredibly hard right now to innovate, but I think Wolfe can do it. I feel like the previous year was all about the standard, all about the strong Pokemon, but this year it's been all about creativity. His signature style and look is that creative sauce that he keeps bringing to tournaments, whether it's Yanmega, Toedscruel, Perish Trap for 2 tournaments in a row. He's comfortable and he's confident, but I can guarantee one thing: I don't expect him to bring Perish Trap to Worlds. I just don't know if it can work in a double restricted format. I don't want to say never, but I find it very, very unlikely. Now the real question is, can Wolfe achieve the Triple Crown? I definitely think he can win Worlds this year. I've never been very confident about predicting anyone to win Worlds, and I'm not necessarily predicting him to outright win the tournament, but I do think he has the potential and he has the chance. And it's not even glaze, it's just pure respect for his craft and the way he plays the game. I think Wolfe Glick in 2025 is the best Wolfe Glick we've ever seen, and Wolfe Glick's won Worlds, so I think he can easily do it again.